Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Emotional Response. This is Life Coaching with Ink, Ivory. Instagram name life_coaching_INK. Hello, people. How are you? Today, on this wonderful day, Thursday, we're closing out the series on self-hatred. This series was amazing. And I know it was amazing for you too as well. Mainly because of the details under the series. One, that if you are in the mix of self-hatred, you can get out. Two, if you're out of the mix of self-hatred, what not to do to get into that. And then three, to have empathy for those that are around you going through self-hatred. And even advising them to listen to the podcast or to reach on to life coaching. It's an awesome time. It's an awesome time we live in where we don't have to search for help. Help is just a fingertip away. It's a matter of you clicking into it, finding it, and communicating. You don't have to go through the deep ends to find help anymore. And that's what inspired me to do the podcast, mainly because of the access that it will give to other people. Because everyone won't be able to allot a time to schedule an appointment for life coaching. Or they don't know the details. Like, did you know that with life coaching, you can do it over the phone? It don't always have to be in a person-to-person setting. You could do it over Skype. FaceTiming, if you have an iPhone. There are so many ways you can connect with people. So you no longer can say, I'm aimlessly walking. And might I add, before I finish the last part of this series, for the rest of the year, I'm giving free life coaching services. Just on the strength that it's okay to be assessed and to get aid in different areas of your life. Don't let the financial component be a hindrance. And so that's why FREE exists. Now, I always hear free doesn't necessarily mean free, and that's very true. It will cost you your time. Setting aside time, whether it's 30 minutes in a week or an hour in a week, to get life coaching sessions, do it. It can only make you better. It can only make you better. Just like getting a car tune-up. It can only make the car better. It can't set the car back. So, reach out and tap into life coaching. Now, self-hatred, the final episode in this series. I'm excited to conclude it. I covered a lot of things, and it's so many things under it that can be also covered. And that's why you can inbox me, call me, text me, reach out to me, and email me, so we can expound more on other areas. As I close this series, I'm going to talk about obesity and anorexia under self-hatred. Self-hatred, again, is a strong dislike of self. A strong dislike. And before I dive into obesity and anorexia and all the things that go on with the body and body image, there is always room for change. And you can choose to stop anything. It doesn't mean it'll be easy, but change is a matter of just steering the car a different direction. It might take some work. Just like you're steering a car, it takes two hands to turn the wheel. It takes a little more effort than driving straight, because sometimes you just need one hand to drive straight. At moments, you only need no hands. Those that put makeup on while driving, put your hands, or text, or do other miscellaneous stuff while driving. But when you're turning a car, you need two hands to turn it. You need a little extra effort. And so when it comes to change is a matter of just choosing. Now, the process itself might require some effort, and a little more effort than what you're used to doing. But that doesn't make it bad. Just because easy is not after change doesn't make it bad. So as we dive in and talk about obesity and anorexia, it really boils down to self-image. And I can't stress enough, you're only given this one sheet of skin and this one composed body of organs. So why not treat it right? Things could change in a matter of time for those that feel like they're too skinny or too fat. Things can change in a matter of time. I done seen it on both ends, where someone is real skinny and then out of nowhere they turn a certain age and they fill out. Or they start off on a heavier side and then they thin out. Either way, change can happen. So if it's not easy, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't happen. And let me stress that some things are just easier for others. I remember in my 20s and in my teenage years, I was a certain size. Actually, in my teenage years, I was a size 4'6". I had a little more meat on me than in my 20s because I tried to be a vegetarian and stop eating meat, and I dropped down to a size 0. And I was skinny mini. That vegetarian lifestyle did not work for me because I did not supplement right. And so my body went down to a size 0 and I looked unhealthy. So I had to go back to eating meat and go back to eating things because I didn't supplement correctly. So that was my fault. The vegan, the vegetarian life does not make you super skinny. It's just, I just changed, but I didn't put nothing in substitute of that change. So that's where I faltered and fell. So in my 20s, roughly, I was a size 0. I might have leaped up to a size 2, 4. I went back at 26 to complete my degree. And in my final year of college, while completing papers and handling a caseload of work that was way heavier than my first year of college, I stayed up late. And during that time of staying up late, I ate. Because eating kept me up too. If I'm snacking, moving my mouth around, that kept me up. So those two components, staying up late and eating late, I filled out. So I went from a size 4 to a size 8 overnight. It was so overnight to the point that people were shocked. Like, how did this happen? It's crazy because for the majority of my 20s, I was focused on gaining weight and would never gain weight. The minute I took my eyes off of focusing on it is when I gained it. And that process, when I look back, was good, because I think I would have been ego-driven if I would have accumulated the weight on my own. But because it happened overnight through bad habits, I was just like, okay, I just got to adjust to it. And so I filled out in all the right places. And now in my 30s, as people say now, I'm living my best life. I was living my best life with the shape that I had. It was unscheduled, and I learned to enjoy it. But I enjoyed myself. I got to a point in my 20s when I was a size 0 and 2 where I began to get comfortable in my own skin. I had to look at myself and start going into the dressing rooms and trying on a size 2, a size 0, and seeing how it accents my shape and body and how nice it looks, and just started enjoying myself. To the point when I reached up to a size 4, I felt some type of way. I became comfortable in my skin that much. And in my 30s, I filled out. And you got to watch what you ask for, because you can always want to be bigger. And then when you get big, you want certain parts smaller. And I accumulated a vixen body, as they would say, a video vixen body. And I still had this like ivory size 0 personality in me. So I was a wonderful person. And I'm still a wonderful person, because it wasn't ego driven. So that's why I say that process, even though it was unscheduled and it wasn't strategically designed, it mapped out that way in such a way that I enjoyed myself at every state. And I grew in comfortability. So those that are listening that have teenagers, you can, again, encourage them during this time, how their body is going to fill out. I took more so my dad's genetics. My dad was skinny mini up until his 30s, and then he started accumulating weight. And it didn't look bad. It just added to him. And so I took his genetics. So that's just how it played out. Those that struggle with image and how you look, you have to be comfortable in this sheet of skin that you have. You have to learn to love yourself, because nobody's going to love you more than you love yourself. If you have children will give you the tangible reflection of what unconditional love looks like and how you supposed to. A kid, whether you bruised up or clean or fat or skinny, however you are, a kid looks in your eyes and loves you with unconditional eyes, because they look at the label. You are my mom. You are my dad. And so they really not concerned with how the external part of that person looks. Is the fact that this person cared for me from the time I came out. This person nurtured me. This person developed a relationship. So they look with unconditional love. And so with those same activities, you need to do it for yourself. You need to spend time with yourself.